it has been a while. So I thought that for the last arc of the series, we would do another reading vlog. Just because I thought I quite like doing the reading vlogs. They're not as much, I feel like the reading vlogs are a bit more personalised and a bit more like than say like just the one the reviews where I don't know where I'm gonna start with. I think I'm just gonna read a couple of chapters. So we are on the last arc of East Blue, and that is the, I think, is it called the Loguetown arc, and that is the rest of volume 11, and I think it is just the one chapter in volume 12. So that's 96 to 100, so that's about what, 5 chapters. So I think I'm gonna read about 2 chapters today, and then I will probably finish it up with the rest of the week, or just see how we go in regards to reading. Finally wrap up East Blue. I'm kind of sad that it's like this is the end of the first saga, and it's a bit bittersweet really. I mean, it's taken me a year to get there obviously, but I'm just happy to finish the first saga of One Piece, and let's get moving on. So I'm going to probably read chapter 96 and 97, and then I will catch up with you in a bit. As I'm looking after this one, let's just decide to come say hello. So I've just finished chapter 96 and 97, and I can already see this is building up. I mean, it's a short arc, but there seems to be a lot of build-up, so I'm wondering if this is like the final build-up towards what the next saga is going to be. So they're currently sailing towards the Grand Line, and then they see an island in the distance, and this is called Loguetown. It's called Loguetown, and it's also where the famous like Gold Roger was killed, the one who was hid the One Piece. So they're heading towards there, and Luffy wants to go and visit Gold Roger's execution place because obviously it's one of his heroes. But while they're sailing, we do cut back to the Navy, and Luffy's got a wanted poster, and you've got a wanted poster, but it doesn't look good because the Navy is now after him. I don't think he realises what sort of situation. These are dangerous people, like they're in control, so we'll have to see how like this goes. But yeah, the Navy is after them, and then so the guy that Zoro was fighting, he's actually one of Shanks's crew, and Shanks has seen like Luffy's wanted poster. Well, he tells him that he's met Luffy, so it's nice to see that. It's nice to see how he's doing after like 10 volumes. But yes, and then so they land on the island, and they kind of split their ways because they want to go explore. And Zoro meets this girl who reminds me of Kunaya, and he's like, it can't be her, but she's a swordswoman. It looks very similar. So it's obviously not her, but it's interesting. He's seen this reminder, this character, and he tries to go and help her, but then she shows her own, and that's how he's reminded of her. So he's gone to look for a new sword, so he goes to see this shopkeeper who sells swords, who's a bit of a crook, and of the girl, the swordswoman ends up there, and they end up talking, and she sees that he has legendary swords, and he sees a cursed sword and he wants to buy it. And then what made me laugh was, I think the comment she said, "You've got 3 swords, you remind me of Verona Zoro, the 3 swords down." I'm like, surely you could put things together, like, but she wants to steal swords from bad men, so Zoro doesn't say who he is. I mean, I don't think Zoro's a bad guy anyway, but she might see him because he says it's a bad name, so he's defacing the swords of evil. That's kind of what she's implying. So Luffy's gone to see Gold Roger's execution place, but the chapter has ended on this lady who I think she's gonna see Luffy. I think she's gonna end up seeing Luffy, and then they're gonna get captured, and something bad's gonna happen probably in the next few chapters. But I am going to end this segment today there. Hello, believe it or not, even though I'm in the same place, it is the next day. And not that this has anything to do with the video, but yesterday, like, I did the rough perspective. Because at the moment I'm doing like the Storybox course. It's quite good actually, because I'm trying to teach myself how to draw, which has been doing, but you do a lot of like perspective work and things like that. So this is what you call like rough perspective. So not brilliant, but building on the exercises. I'm going to be doing that later on today as well. But if I believe correctly, we have got 3 chapters left. So I think I am going to finish, I think I got chapter 98 and chapter 99. So I am going to go ahead and finish those for you. So, okay, can I just say, it feels like everything's just like coming together. So I've finished volume 11 and we've only got one more chapter left in East Blue, and that is it. That is East Blue done. So I'll probably read that tomorrow evening when I get in from work. But yeah, it feels like everything is kind of come together. So new enemies and old enemies have appeared. So Luffy is gone up to the execution stand of where Gold Roger was executed, and everyone's like, get down from there, you shouldn't be standing up there, but he's not really bothered. But then the lady we saw earlier, who I thought was part of the Navy, she's not. It's actually Captain Alevida, and she ate a devil fruit, which she called the slip fruit, which changed her appearance, so now she is very beautiful. Luffy doesn't regard that, but she has teamed up with Buggy the clown, and Buggy tries to execute Luffy. And earlier in the chapter, Nami can tell there's a storm coming, so she's looking for a coat because she can kind of see what the weather's like, because obviously navigator, so she can kind of see what that's like. Sanji's looking for a fish for food and things like that, and then Usopp is just doing whatever Usopp does. And yeah, the doesn't look good, so Buggy goes to execute Luffy, and the crew will have to rush towards to get him. But then we are introduced to the Navy captain who looks after the town, and this girl runs into his ice cream and slips it on him, and then people are afraid, but he's actually quite a good guy. And the girl we saw earlier with Zorro is part of the Navy crew, so I feel like they're going to have like a conflict later on, maybe in future arcs, maybe something like that. And yeah, so they say, oh, they learn that there's a pirate disagreement, and then they hear that Luffy is got 30 million berries, and like, oh, we haven't heard that for a long time. So they're like, oh, we could let the pirates sort their scuffle out, but then lightning strikes happened and brings the execution board down. But Luffy thought he was a goner, and he laughs in the face of being executed, and the Navy captain is reminded of Gold Roger, and he's like, I'm not gonna let those guys get off the crew. But Luffy thought he was gonna die. He doesn't, but he survived, and they're all running off the island. So a lot of things are going down, but it's nice to see Buggy's back and being stupid. But one of his crew members, the lion guy, I can't remember his name, has gone to the ship, so I think he's gonna end up burning the ship. But yeah, it just feels like all these points have come together to wrap up sort of like a nice little few quick chapters to end the East Blue. But it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of bittersweet that I'm finally on the last bit of East Blue, like one more chapter. So I think I want to save it, and then I'll be like, this is the end. It's kind of the end of an era, really. But it's nice to have finally finished it, and then I can start on the next saga. So I'm excited for that. But I suppose to say my thoughts so far, I feel like this arc is a bit quick. I feel like, I don't know, it feels a bit rushed more than the other arcs have been. Honestly, I feel like maybe it could have been spread across a few more chapters. It just feels like, oh, there's a storm and everything's just kind of wrapped up a bit too neatly. But we'll see how the next chapter goes, because something might happen, I don't know. But that's my thoughts so far. So I will see you tomorrow for the final chapter, and I'll probably be in a different location rather than the kitchen. Do you know, I completely forgot to actually read on Monday and Tuesday. Yesterday I did not have any time, and Monday I don't seem to do any reading, but it's Wednesday night now and we've got one more chapter to go, so I am going to start reading volume 12 and I will get back to you once I've finished the next chapter, and then we're going to wrap up the East Blue saga, so I will see you then. And with that, I've read 100 chapters of One Piece, and that last little chapter was where everybody is making a run for the ship. So the ship is not burning and they're heading towards the Grand Line, but then this mysterious figure called the Dragon, because the Navy captain is stopped by this guy called the Dragon, so we've got this mysterious figure who's helping them, saying something about being a fellow pirate, so he's helping them. But then they all have their wishes about the Grand Line, like Nami wants to create a map of the world, Luffy wants to be the king of all pirates, things like that. And yet I feel like that was the quickest arc that I've read of the whole of East Blue, but it's now done and that's it. East Blue is done and it's time to go on to the next saga. So to wrap my thoughts on East Blue, I think I really did enjoy a majority of the arcs. I don't think I really hated any of the arcs, to be honest. There may be some moments where I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought it was going to be, like one of the arcs I wasn't really sure, but I enjoyed it as a whole. I mean, I think it's going to be different now that that kind of beginning story is out the way, and they say the sagas do get better, but I feel like any beginning of any story to me becomes quite nostalgic after a while, so I think East Blue is kind of always going to hold a special place in my heart, just because it's taken me so long to get, just because it's been obviously part of my life for a year now. And yeah, it's going to be quite strange because I know things are going to change now, because I can already tell things are going to change heavily, and I'll probably always be nostalgic for like the beginning where Luffy was finding his crewmates. But again, that's with any story, you always find yourself looking towards the beginning and enjoying the journey on the end. So yeah, I'm gonna miss it. I think I am really gonna miss it, but I'm excited to start the next saga. I don't know when that will be, hopefully in the next few weeks or so, but yeah, that's East Blue, and yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be nostalgic for it. That is my overall thoughts for it, to be honest, and that's kind of where my feelings lie, and that is it. I don't know what else to say. Thank you for watching. Again, I've done this style of video just because it'd be nice. So comment down below what your thoughts are on East Blue. I'd like to know like different opinions, whether you really hated it, whether you really liked it, what your thoughts are. And yeah, I will see you next time for the next saga. Bye.